You brought that up. We've seen a lot of times technologies will change their pricing structure, and usually it's not advantageous for the business or the client. So an example on the .com side we saw this past summer was Klaviyo had changed how they were pricing their email side of things, where it was from, I think, send volume switching to how many active profiles you had. And in the email marketing world, you may have profiles that you had active, but really wanted to mail because they just weren't very engaged or whatever the reason was. So when that happened, by charging based on like from send volume to like the number of profiles, a lot of our clients experienced price increases from Klaviyo. So it prompted doing a lot of re-engagement and suppression, so that they could keep their billing closer to where it was. So basically, long-winded way of saying, just like keep an eye on how platforms are pricing, and if it's changed, maybe there's some things you can do to avoid a price increase.
Yeah, and on our side, like a very popular software is called Helium 10. And what we've noticed in the past month is, I guess, their leadership has changed. Something has gone wrong, basically, and they're not treating customers as well. But what we're seeing is actually, instead of them releasing features, they are reducing the features that a user gets based on the subscription that they're currently on. So, for example, you used to be able to pay like $30 and get access to X-Ray, which basically you type a keyword into Amazon and you can get an idea of revenue, blah, 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 blah. But then what you used to be able to do is like export it or add filters to kind of narrow it down. And now that's behind a paywall, behind the $99 subscription. And there's another tool on there called Cerebro, which is basically you see the keywords of competitors. Same thing. You can load them up in Cerebro and see all the keywords, but you can't filter it. You can't export it because they want you to pay $99 a month. So we're seeing a turn here where there are way less features behind the lower subscriptions, and they're forcing you to buy that more expensive one. And I recommend for those out there not to give in to that on Helium 10 and start looking for other tools. There are a lot out there like Zonguru, Jungle Scout. There's actually so many out there, and I think they're going to get a lot more attention now that Helium 10's done this. But be aware that sometimes these corporate companies get greedy along the lines. So yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up. I think that's a great takeaway, is when there is big pricing changes or loss of features, you may still be on the best option for your business, but it certainly can be a good time to potentially weigh other options. And at the end of the day, you may come back to, hey, this is the best. We do just need to upgrade, or hey, there is something, another emerging technology that has the same or maybe even better capabilities. So yeah, it's a really good trigger of like keeping a pulse on the market.
Yeah, and oh, sorry, were you?
No, it's great.
So from the Amazon side, I guess another way to look at this as well is Amazon is releasing, well, it's not anything new, but a lot of first-party tools like Product Opportunity Explorer, SQP, where you can get data directly from Amazon for keywords and things like that. So I guess what I'm saying is maybe you should ask yourself if you even need these subscriptions anymore. Well, do you need all of them? Or could you start using not other tools, but maybe your platform's tool where they're starting to, I guess it goes back on our first point of tools offering more features, but from the Amazon side, use their first-party data, what they're giving you, instead of relying on these other tools, and you can really minimize your costs. One tool I will recommend for people to use is called Sellerboard. It's essentially profit analytics, PPC analyzer. There's a tool on there where you can get reimbursements, because a lot of times Amazon forgets to reimburse you for lost inventory and things like that. And it's a tool that will somewhat make you money and provide the metrics you actually need. Because I find a lot of sellers and brands do get carried away with tools that just provide information they can't even take action on. So really narrow down, and this is like minimizing your dollars. What tools do you actually need? What data do you actually look at where you can take action and grow your overall revenue?